Am I the red flag for hiding embarrassing notes in my house as a joke because I know my fiance's mom snoops? Am I the red flag for blowing up on my girlfriend after therapy backfired? The girl I'm seeing clogged my toilet and now is ghosting me. Update included. Today, we are reading viral Reddit stories of insanity and embarrassment. Whether these people are putting folks through something or going through something, either way, they're going to need professional help. Now, I've only read the titles of these stories. I have not read the actual stories themselves, so we're going to read them together, and I'm going to react to them by running through a public park with gigantic flags. Am I the red flag for hiding embarrassing notes in my house as a joke because I know my fiance's mom snoops? No, you're not, because it's your house, of course, and your fiance's mom should get a life, of course. Next story. I'm kidding. About the next story part. I bought a house 7 years ago and I met my fiance Al 4 years ago. This year he moved in. We're talking about making it a home for the both of us. But as of now, he hasn't moved much stuff in. Right now, 95% of the stuff and furniture in the house is mine. When his mom comes over, she's kind of a snoop. He was used to that, but when she comes to our house, it's so uncomfortable because she's just going through my stuff.
Hey, you snoop! Drop her stuff like it's hot!
When I am bothered, she's like, I was just helping with chores, etc. He says I should just let her because she has a lot of nervous energy. Oh good, so like a mama's boy. His stuff is still outside of your house as far as I'm concerned, so if you want to get a locksmith to, remix those keyholes, that would be good. One thing she snooped on was actually embarrassing. In my home office, I had a little affirmation post-it note on my monitor saying, I am smart, I am skilled, I am deserving of great things. She made a comment about my ego, but as a joke, I decided to do it again. I had my best friend over and we got wine drunk and wrote a bunch of affirmations to hide. Some were, medicine cabinet, my teeth will regrow, I am shark-like and powerful. Walk-in closet, I am beautiful with clothes and without, especially without. There were a bunch more and my friend and I had a hilarious time writing them. Next time my mother-in-law came over, she saw a few, and she didn't acknowledge them to me, even though she definitely started acting a little weird about me.
I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
I went to run some errands, and when I was out, she confronted Al about the notes and was trying to tell him that I seemed unstable, egotistical, and moving in was a bad idea. She showed him the notes, and he really didn't know what to make of it.
Oh, my ticker is tap dancing in its bone terrarium.
He asked me, and I said that they were just some silly private notes to boost my self-confidence and make myself laugh. How had she gotten them? Had she been going through my things? He just said she was tidying and saw them, and they were really weird. I was like, have you met me? You should know how weird I am. Anyway, if you don't want your mom seeing my weird stuff, you've got to stop letting her go through my things. He asked if I left them on purpose to annoy her, and I admitted that that was kind of the joke. He said I was making stuff hard for him, and his mom was really protective and adjusting to him moving in with a girlfriend for the first time. Girlfriend? Fiance? Hello? And I was agitating her on purpose and making her think I wouldn't be a good partner when he wanted her to have the opposite impression of me. Am I the red flag for the note prank?
Your mom should sweep her own porch before pointing at another, pal!
I bet when your husband cussed as a kid and an adult heard it and said, you kiss your mama with that mouth? He said, yeah, I do, on the lips. No, you're not the red flag. Your fiance is still breastfeeding and his mom is actively trying to break you guys up because she can't let go of him. And calling you girlfriend is just, that's disrespectful. She needs therapy, which conveniently enough brings us to today's sponsor, BetterHelp.
You better get some help, gal!
And look, I'm no holier than thou, fella. I've needed therapy badly. Back when COVID hit, I was a small business owner and I lost half of my clients in a week and I couldn't pay the bills all of a sudden, and it was horrifying. It was absolutely horrifying. And slowly over time, over the next year, I developed extremely bad depression. I couldn't sleep. I started losing my hair. I lost a lot of weight. And I developed just like a horrible drinking and smoking habit to the point where there was not a waking moment when I was sober for 3 years. But when I moved in with my girlfriend Kendra in March of 2023, I had no idea how badly I was struggling. I was numb because I wasn't sober. And I know I wasn't fun to live with at all, I'm sure. But with Kendra's support, I got myself into therapy, and slowly but surely I returned to my normal self, and I've been completely sober ever since. Shortly after that is when I started doing these red flag green flag videos, and I am fully convinced if I had not gotten myself into therapy, you guys would not be watching these videos right now.
Go green and get help!
So if you need someone to talk to, look into BetterHelp. It is a platform where therapists and clients communicate, and they want to make starting therapy easier.
Oh, I love simplicity.
All you do is just fill out a questionnaire and you'll be matched with a licensed therapist in as little as a couple of days. And it's all done remotely, which is very convenient. If your therapist doesn't feel like the right fit after a few sessions, you can easily just keep switching until you find one that you connect with. There's a journal inside the platform for personal reflection. There's group sessions on several different topics every day, and folks say some good things about them. They've got over 7,000 reviews and a 4.5-star rating on Trustpilot. So if you're struggling and you want to give it a try, go to betterhelp.com/Dustin Poynter and get 10% off your first month of therapy. Am I the red flag for blowing up on my girlfriend after therapy backfired?
What did you do, guy? What did you do?
My girlfriend Emma and I have been together for 6 years. For most of that time, we've been happy, like really happy. The kind of relationship people say just works, you know? We were always on the same page, rarely fought, and genuinely enjoyed each other's company. But over the past year, things started to feel different. Small arguments here and there, more miscommunication, and just this weird sense that we weren't as in sync as we used to be. It wasn't anything major, just the usual wear and tear stuff, or so I thought. Emma, however, seemed to be more concerned. She started pointing out issues that I wasn't even aware of, like how I supposedly wasn't listening enough or wasn't as emotionally available as I used to be. I admit, I've been busy with work, but I thought we were doing okay. Still, I didn't want to dismiss her feelings. Then, about 6 months ago, she suggested that we go to couples therapy. Now, I've always been a bit skeptical about therapy unless things are really bad, but I agreed because I figured it couldn't hurt. She said she found a great therapist through a friend and we should give it a try. I wasn't familiar with this Lily, but Emma was excited about it, so we booked our first session. At first, the session seemed fine. Lily asked good questions, got us to open up, and gave us some tools to communicate better. I felt like I was doing my best to listen and improve, but something about it felt a little off. Every time we talked about any issue, it seemed like Lily was always subtly siding with Emma.
I am more nervous than a snake in a shed full of shovels.
If I mentioned being stressed from work, she'd steer the conversation towards how I wasn't giving enough attention to Emma. If I brought up a disagreement, somehow it became about my communication issues. After a few weeks, Emma started using phrases like, Lily thinks you should try this, or Lily says you need to work on that. It felt like everything I did was being scrutinized and dissected by this woman I barely knew. I didn't want to be paranoid, but it seemed like Lily was slowly convincing Emma that I was the problem in the relationship. And every time I tried to voice my own concerns, they were brushed aside. Come on, Lily. You're neglecting the other pad. You gotta leap onto the other one. The only thing you're jumping to is conclusions. Okay, never mind. I'm out of stupid frog jokes. I tried to push through it, thinking I was just being defensive, but it didn't stop. Every session, the same dynamic. It was like Lily was planting seeds of doubt in Emma's head, and Emma was running with them. I even started to wonder if maybe I was the problem. Was I actually this bad of a partner? Things reached a boiling point a couple of weeks ago. During a session, Lily started suggesting that maybe we should consider a break so I could work on myself more. What? That felt like a slap in the face. I've been trying so hard to be better, and now she was suggesting we split up. I looked at Emma, waiting for her to disagree or defend me, but she just sat there, quietly nodding along.
No.
After that session, I couldn't hold it in anymore. I blew up at Emma when we got home. I told her I didn't trust Lily's judgment, that it felt like she was just feeding Emma reasons to blame me for everything wrong in the relationship. Emma got defensive, saying I was overreacting, that Lily was just trying to help us work through our issues. Our issues? It's one-sided, gal. We didn't talk for a few days, and I started feeling guilty for snapping. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe therapy really was exposing some flaws I needed to work on. But then, something happened that blew everything wide open. Last week, we went to a mutual friend's party. While there, I overheard Emma and her friend Sarah talking in the corner, giggling about something. I caught just a bit of their conversation. I can't believe you've pulled it off for this long. I immediately confronted them, and that's when Emma's face turned pale. Sarah quickly tried to backtrack, but the truth spilled out. It turns out, Lily isn't a licensed therapist at all. She's one of Emma's close friends from college who thought it'd be fun to help Emma fix me by posing as a therapist.
Hey, what in the what?
I have no words. Emma had set this whole thing up because she thought I wouldn't agree to therapy otherwise. They figured that with Lily playing the part, they could guide me into becoming a better boyfriend without me knowing.
Alarms! Sirens! Chimes!
When I confronted Emma about how messed up this was, she broke down, saying she never meant to hurt me and that she just wanted to help us grow as a couple. But honestly, I don't know how to move past this. I haven't been able to look at her the same since. Now Emma and her friends are saying I overreacted, that it was just a white lie meant to help our relationship. But I feel like I've been gaslit and lied to for months. So, am I the red flag for blowing up at my girlfriend when I found out our therapist was a total fraud? No, you're not the red flag, because you know what would have helped the relationship? Actual therapy. Somebody with a yellow notepad and horn-rimmed glasses and a cardigan and diplomas on the wall and stuff. And Emma knows that, but she just wants to fix the relationship the way that she wants to fix it, not the way that it should be fixed, which is manipulation at its finest and honestly narcissism. God, and what are her friends like? Henchman? Is Lily 6'4" with a scar and a sickle for a hand by any chance? Can she harvest wheat with her extremities? No, you're completely valid here. All right, one more story. The girl I'm seeing clogged my toilet and now is ghosting me. Update included.
What? What?
I swear this is not a joke. I'm mostly a viewer of this subreddit, but I guess now I need some real advice. Haha. I met this girl about 3 weeks ago and things really kicked off. We've hung out more than I can count, probably about 2 to 4 days each week, and been intimate 3 times. Little descriptive, okay? Friday night she was over, and while watching a movie she went to use my restroom. I noticed she was in there for unusually long, and at a point I started hearing what sounded like sobbing. I knocked on the door and she frantically ran to lock it and said I couldn't come in, while certainly crying. I asked what was wrong, and after repeating the question a few times and even trying to leave her alone, thinking she was having some sort of female emergency, she opened the door, ran to my bedroom, grabbed all of her things, and ran out my door.
I have no idea which flag I need right now, and I am dying inside.
I soon found out she took a dump, and the toilet must have clogged. My toilet clogs very easily, so there was a plunger, which she had tried to no avail. She must have tried to flush way too many times as the water had completely overflowed, leaving several chunks of shit all over the floor with disintegrating toilet paper. This is literally a scene from Along Came Polly, when Ben Stiller ate too much spicy food and detonated Jennifer Aniston's bathroom. She also seemingly tried to clean it up desperately using both of my bath towels and 2 bathroom mats, which were now soiled in poop water. It took me maybe 2 minutes to unclog the toilet, another 40 or so to clean the bathroom, and some time to get the smell out. I initially didn't text her for like 2 days because I was pretty upset about the way she reacted, but she's really sweet, very attractive, in my opinion, and I genuinely enjoyed the time we spent, so I reached out to her Monday morning asking if she wanted to meet to talk things over. It's been almost 2 days and she hasn't replied, and prior, she rarely even took more than 2 to 4 hours to reply, so I'm fairly certain she doesn't want to see me again. I really do like her, so if there's a chance of saving this, I'm all for it, but at the same time, I'm not gonna beg for her to talk it out. Is there anything more I can do/say, or do I cut my losses? This is one of those moments where she's gonna be in the shower, like 20 years later, and she's gonna think about this and just just one of those embarrassing moments where you just, involuntarily groan. Oh my god. I will say that he's handled this really well so far. I think a lot of people would not take very kindly to an ass avalanche just all over the bathroom. But there is a second update, so let's hold our horses for a second. Update. I hope everyone that saw the last post somehow finds this update because I received some great advice and honestly, y'all are cool as hell. I decided to incorporate most of your tips and texted her one last time, pretty much saying that she shouldn't beat herself up too much and don't worry, shit happens.
Oh, he's got some caca quips. He's a joke gentleman.
I kid you not, 2 seconds later, she dislikes the text, then sends me some paragraph that she likely typed up beforehand. It was just a long-winded apology, mostly about how she reacted. I called her right after, and she found the joke pretty funny, and I could tell that she felt pretty bad. We previously had 4th of July plans to watch the fireworks from my apartment rooftop, and she decided to come over with a fresh set of towels.
Oh, good move, gal.
She was still a little awkward, which I guess makes sense, but all it took was a little alcohol to get her back to normal. Thanks again for all the tips. Guess I just needed to give her some time and make light of the whole situation. Situation. I'm struggling with English all of a sudden. Situation. I'm choosing to believe that that was her alcohol and her consumption of it was consensual because I have no reason to believe otherwise, and this story is too wholesome to be ruined by that. But the smiley face there gave me pause. I think I've been reading too much into the P. Diddy case. But yeah, I think he realized that the toilet is partially to blame here, and he could tell that her decisions were brought on by a panic attack. So, which is good. His response was the correct and healthy response, and a gentlemanly response. He's a true gent, and she brought over fresh towels. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to have to give them both one final. All right, we've got more stories to read. It's just in a different place. Hit the box in the left-hand corner, and we'll learn about how to not handle rejection. All right, that's my time. Toodles.